Y seguimos acá en este espacio de entrevistas desde Colombia 4.0, el encuentro de los ecosistemas de innovación digital. Me encuentro con uno de los conferencistas principales en materia de salud para nuestro ecosistema HealthTech, the Dr. Bechara Saab. Welcome.
Thank you.
So for me, it's so important to having you here today. So tell us, where are you from?
I grew up in northern British Columbia, which is the west part of Canada, lived in Switzerland for 12 years, and now I'm living in Singapore.
Well, that is so nice. So tell me, what is your current position?
I'm currently the CEO and the chief scientist as well of a company called Mobio Interactive.
Well, and what are your company doing right now?
We are a precision psychiatry company. That means that we focus on identifying what is the very best treatment for each individual patient, then creating a personalized treatment regimen for every patient.
Well, that is so interesting. So can you tell us, please, what is the status and how the AI is happening around the world and how all of the people around the world is using AI?
Well, AI has been a part of our lives for a very long time. It's just been much more subtle. It's been embedded within a lot of the applications and tools that we use. Now, largely because of the advent of large language models like ChatGPT, everybody can directly interact with AI and experience it at a personal level in their lives. So I think the big recent change and the reason why there's so much interest right now is because everybody's able to experience the true power of having a neural network and other forms of AI assist you in your daily tasks.
And how is the AI impacting and improving the health ecosystem?
Well, one of the most important things is how AI is able to work with a large amount of data. There's an incredible amount of data associated with population health, individual health, and then also all the scientific discoveries that are made. It's impossible at this point for an individual or a group of people to really stay up to date on everything that's happening. So we need these systems, these AI systems, to really understand the data that we ourselves are creating.
Okay, and do you know how is the AI impacting Colombia and impacting the health ecosystem?
I'm sure it's impacting Colombia in many ways, and I'm aware that there's been a lot of leverage of AI in order to facilitate the remote monitoring and care of patients that are currently in locations where they do not have access to hospitals.
Yes, that's right. Actually, one of the biggest programs that this ministerio has is the Salud Tech. That is one initiative that is looking to connect the data and monitor the health and all of the data from all of the patients that lives outside of the big cities and the patients that lives in the countryside, and monitor that data and that status of their health, and in real time take actions and monitor that in order to give them a better health system and a better access to health. So that is one of the things that here in Colombia we are doing right now from the Ministerio TIC.
It's fantastic. You know, what's really great about AI is the ability for it to save us time, right? It can do a lot of tasks much more quickly than we can as humans. And a big question is, what are we going to do with that saved time? Are we going to use that time to do more work? Or are we going to use that time maybe to relax? Hopefully we can find a balance.
That is interesting because I think that when we have more time, we used to feel that we need to do more and work more and be more productive, and that can change your mental health. And I want to know, what is your interest in the mental health?
I'm first and foremost interested in human flourishing. I'm interested in life flourishing, not just humans, but life on Earth. And the way I see it, the only thing that exists in the universe that even has maybe some potential of having some kind of meaning would be feelings. You know how people feel. That canonically, they have to have meaning because you feel them. And so mental health really interrupts how we feel in a profound way, how we function, how we interact with other people. And that makes it central to our flourishing as an individual and as a community. And so I'm very interested in having the impact that I can have. But I come from a background in neuroscience. That's my specialty. And so I think the greatest opportunity that I have personally is to apply my skills and my desire to work hard and innovate into mental health.
And what is the connection and what is the power of the AI in the mental health?
Well, there's many, many ways it can help. I'm giving a talk in a few hours specifically about how AI is being leveraged in order to better measure mental health. And that's been one of the greatest challenges in psychiatry and mental health, is not being able to know without bias how somebody's feeling. And that's an existential issue and has been holding back the entire field relative to other domains in medicine. And so the great thing about AI is it can really understand complex systems in ways that are difficult to solve with a rule-based or static algorithm. Specifically at Mobio, what we're doing is we're using AI to understand the subtle relationship between heart rate and the autonomic nervous system. And this way we can get an unbiased measure of somebody's stress. We know the stress level of somebody even more accurately than they can tell us themselves. That's profound. It's very powerful.
That is very interesting. So, do you think that it's important to have good data in the health ecosystem and to use correctly the AI in the health ecosystem?
You know, the accuracy of data is very important. You know, that's one of the big reasons why having unbiased and objective data instead of subjective data in mental health is so important. Generally speaking, you know, if your data is noisy and has a lot of issues with it, that'll make it much more difficult for AI to deal with, but it also makes it more difficult for humans to deal with. The quality of data is paramount to making concrete steps towards what your end goal is.
Okay, and maybe to have more information and to take better decisions. And what will be one message for us here in Colombia, here in the health ecosystem, to us from you?
Well, you know, I certainly can't speak of a position of authority with regard to all of healthcare. But what I can say is having the government and stakeholders in the ecosystem putting the thumb on the scale to really push to get objective, unbiased measures of mental health will be the single greatest thing that can be done in order to reduce the burden of mental illness throughout the entire country.
Okay, yes, that is so important because here in Colombia, the government is working closely with the health ecosystem in order to achieve biggest and bigger goals, in order to give a better life to all of the patients, in order to use correctly the AI, in order to use the technology with our health ecosystem. So I think that we are working hard. We are making like really good things. We are achieving good things like the Salud program that I just talking about, and we have a lot of programs in the health ecosystems, and we are using the technology right now. And I think that the AI is like changing all the world and the way that all the world connect and live every day. So thank you so much for being here with us. For us, it's so important to having you here in Colombia 4.0. And that's it. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Pleasure speaking with you.
Ok. Bueno, y seguimos aquí en Colombia 4.0, el encuentro de los ecosistemas de innovación digital. Sigan conectados con todos nuestros canales del Ministerio.